Hello and welcome to Destiny Digits. This is the Soul Urge reading for Soul Urge number 4. If you are a number 4, you're a builder, you're a teacher, a hard worker. Your Soul Urge reveals to you your motivation, right? So this is the driving force behind what you do, why you do. And so 4 means that you just enjoy working hard. You're very practical, you're disciplined, logical. You don't mind doing the mundane tasks, right? You don't mind doing the same thing again and again because you really have a good grasp of the bigger picture. And in general, you're just persevering. So everybody wants to have a 4 on their team, in their family. They're very orderly and traditional, just helpful people. Um, and also that hard work, they're prosperous, so 4s, like this is, you are motivated with this energy, and you find this energy by using all the vowels in your full birth name. All right, so far at the bottom of the deck, we have taking risks. Okay. 3 cards that came out are flow, security, and forgiveness. Flow, security, and forgiveness. And so 4s, if you at this point are motivated to approach something new, maybe you want to build something, maybe you want to create something, maybe you're working on establishing something in your life, and you want to make this come into fruition. So Spirit is confirming that whatever it is that you desire, whatever it is you are seeing from afar or from above, something that's not really yet formed, it will require you to step into a new aspect of yourself and take a risk, right? So taking a risk means that you are going to walk towards something before the path ahead is even clear, right? So this is pure faith and trust in your ability, the divine, and just the process of where you've been and where you want to go. So in this, Spirit is saying, it's things aren't clear. What you really can't see and understand. So follow your intuition. Take the step even before you know where the step leads. And I understand that that's a lot. That's a lot to ask, right? To walk ahead and, in total blind faith. But nonetheless, I think Spirit is saying to go with the flow, even when the flow is unknown, right? If you are going after your security, or you feel like in all of this, you are losing your security, maybe you have a fear that that then in making this change and going after this new thing and taking this risk, I'm either going after security, but in this process, maybe you feel a little unstable. Spirit is saying, sometimes the most true form of security is faith and trust, right? Unfortunately, all the things that we can see in our life that we feel secure in are things that change. People, places, things all change. But faith, hope, trust, those are those anchoring traits that we have to possess when things don't make sense, right? So some things you may have to lose or let go of as you develop this new sense of security, right? Some things are going to have to be released in order for new things to come. Any fears that you have around security, you have to release them, because that hinders your ability to really take this risk, this leap, without fear as a roadblock, right? Maybe you've attached yourself to things, to people, places, and things, and they were a part of how you identified with your own security, right? But maybe when those things change, the true lesson is about, how do I let go, right? How do I let go of things that I've attached myself to? So think about whatever it is that you are currently going through, your energy, your experience, and see how that fits. Next, we have forgiveness. But with forgiveness, we had two cards come out. We had the shadow and the inner child. So this is very clear. Sometimes before moving forward, before really stepping into the role of who we're becoming, sometimes we have to go backwards. Why is that necessary? Well, parts of our soul, parts of us were broken when experiences and trauma took place. And if we didn't heal or haven't done the healing, then we have left pieces of our special self in different areas of our life, right? And so, personally, I've experienced trauma, and I can go back to being a toddler when that began. And so if I haven't rectified the story, if I haven't really done the work, then a part of me is 17 months. But here I am as an adult attempting to grow, to manifest, to really form into what I feel the divine has called me to be. But pieces of me are left where I haven't really done the work. And so what does that work look like? That work looks like forgiveness, right? So if I don't forgive the people that were responsible for me as a child, you the same. If we don't forgive the people that were put in our life to guide us, to love, to nurture, to protect us, if we don't forgive them for the pieces of us that they took temporarily, because it's our responsibility to collect what's owed to us, but if we don't forgive, collect the pieces of us, and really do that inner work, then we're never going to go as far as we can go, because we're scattered all over. And so this is about, we also have the shadow here. That was the extra card that come out. So the shadow is about going into the dark spaces, going into the depths, the deep, the unknown, the places that we've avoided, the places that we have intentionally left dark because we didn't want to see, right? So there's a couple different things going on here. But I feel like this is work. This is inner work. This is you doing inner work so that you can see it reflected in your physical world. I didn't mention, next to flow, we talked about going with the flow, taking steps even when we can't see what's ahead. We also have acceptance. And so whatever this mission is, wherever you are in life, whatever this energy is, no matter how it feels, no matter what it looks like, just go with it. Just accept it. Accept it. Don't resist it. Don't question it. Just accept it, right? Just be a willing participant in your own story and energetically just go with it. And that's necessary because then we can continue our own growth. We can always keep the progression moving in a forward direction. So next to taking risks, we have peace. And so I'm hearing that, if you are longing for peace, if you are longing to really be you without the pain, without the thoughts, without the self-sabotage, like if you want to be the best version of you, right? And really be at peace with who you are and where you are in life, you have to take a risk. And that risk is not something that is going to happen in the outer world first. It is literally happening within you. It is a choice that you are making. There's something that you have to heal. There's something in a way of your growth that has to leave. It no longer has a place or a space, right? And it's in the way of your peace, your growth, your advancement. And so this is fours. This is about doing the work. Fours, you're very good at doing the work, you know, in your family, in your relationships, in your careers, in your hobbies, in your passions, you know, because we are helpful. As a 4, you're helpful, you know, and so you like to serve others and establish things for others. But this seems to be a very personal experience. And I feel like if you are a builder, if you are a hard worker as a 4, you know, you can produce the best work when you are your best. And so I feel like you currently are motivated to become your best. And it's a risk because you have to go backwards into moments of life where things were painful and abusive and traumatic. And, you know, we have to go back and kind of I'm thinking about connecting the dots. You know, you connect the dots and you see pictures. This is almost like connecting the wounds, you know? So this is like digging into our own timeline, our own life here. Maybe even past life trauma if things have been carried on. But I really think that this is about the life that we have lived right now in this current existence here on Earth. At the bottom of the tarot deck, we have 6 of Wands, victory. So that's beautiful. Whatever this risk is, it's worth it because it'll bring you the peace that you so deserve, right? And this will be a victory for you, right? This current space or intermission that you are on is really going to help you overcome and propel yourself into new places and spaces in your own life, and that's beautiful. In the center, we have the Hermit. So I didn't know this, but I learned this from watching another tarot video from a reader. But typically, we talk about the Hermit being the seeker. But she also mentioned that the Hermit is supposedly the emperor after he lost it all, and he goes within. You know, he secludes himself. He's in solitude, and he has to go and deal with the demons that caused him to lose his kingdom, right? And so, not that that is also your story, but nonetheless, the Hermit is going into the shadow. He's going into the dark places that lost everything, that contributed to him losing and not being able to maintain what he cherished mostly, right? And so this is being unafraid to go into the depths. But unfortunately, this situation, you had to be pushed to this space because of loss. That may not be you, but that would be the story here. So nonetheless, this is about going within to gain security. And what do we mean by security? A sense of self, right? We want to feel grounded. We want to our identity, we want to purify and cleanse, right? So we're going within, we're dealing with our shadow self, the dark stuff. The things that hurt us most. When someone says pain, when someone says, abuser, when someone says, lie, neglect, deceit, abandon, rejection. When you hear those words, they may take you to a space, they may give you a feeling. And so those are the places when you go there within emotionally, mentally, we stay with our lantern and we do the work. We don't leave, we just stay. So this is a moment where we go, we stay, we work, we repair, and then we progress, right? And so we're going in to collect the pieces of ourself that were stolen because we need to establish our security in this life so that we can be the greatest form and version of who we were called to be, right? And so when it's time to go into this space, we feel blocked, right? These shadows, this darkness, this stuff within us, this inner work that we are now about to do has blocked us. It has blocked our heart. We are unable to see where we want to go, what we want to do in life. We're not, we are not clear about how to establish and maintain our own security. And so this is the time. This is what we are currently being called to do. And so there are things within us that we need to let go, and we need to this is happening. We have the Eight of Wands here, so this is a movement. This could be travel, truly, or it could just talk about momentum, energy, force, letting go. So this could be something that is happening quickly. Maybe you lost something, but if you've experienced some type of letting go in your life and it seemed to come about quickly, it is a part of this. It is necessary because it is a part of you doing the shadow work. Now, beneath the Hermit, we have Two of Cups, and this talks about a relationship. And so sometimes I mentioned, as the Emperor had to lose it all in order to do what the Hermit does. And so sometimes we have to be forced to do the uncomfortable things because no one is willingly ready to do what's uncomfortable, right? Or makes us uneasy. But sometimes life will push us there so that we can accomplish the task. And so possibly beneath the Hermit is a Two of Cups. So there could have been a relationship that pushed you into this Hermit phase, right? And this relationship could have been, you know, sometimes Two of Cups is a soulmate, but a soulmate can be a friend, a family member, um, a friend of the family. It could, sibling. It could be any connection. It could be anything. So there could have been a connection with someone that you felt you trusted. They were, you felt like this was someone that was trustworthy, that you felt safe with. And, you know, at some point, this relationship required a reality check. We have the Queen of Wands here. And so this is an energy of somebody who, is just, they've got, they're vibrant, they're passionate, they could be beautiful, charismatic, but they just have mastered just this lust for life, right? And it's almost contagious. It feels good. um and they're kind of magnetic, right? And they're warriors. They're unafraid and they're fearless. And that wand is their life force. It's all the gifts that make them them, and that's what they use to just, blaze through life with. Um, and so, nonetheless, we have that energy, but then we also have forgiveness. And so, maybe at some point there was somebody who energetically matched, you know, um, the Queen of Wands, but maybe misused their power. And maybe it was in a relationship, right? Um, and maybe this did happen as a child. We had inner child and we also had the shadow, so this could have been, a caregiver. But nonetheless, this was a relationship. It could have been a soulmate relationship that your soul needed. Obviously, physically, we never feel we need to go through trauma, but our soul has requirements in this life to accomplish, and it needs our body in order to accomplish it. And so we go through this unknowingly, but it's really always with purpose. It's never to just give us pain, just to make us suffer. It really has purpose when we go through things in this life. But nonetheless, we have the Page of Swords here, and this is about, discovering information, or wanting to know more, wanting to know something, wanting to bring about the truth, wanting to speak the truth, wanting to, this is about making clarity the message, right? So this is a message of, you know, of information, some type of information. And so I feel like, in the energy of the Page of Swords, the same desire that this page has to find truth, work with truth, to communicate whatever leads him to know what needs to be known is the energy that you would have to step into when you approach the shadows within you, when you do this inner work, when you do this healing. So if there are relationships in your life with people that you felt drawn to, but then maybe they ended up misusing their power somehow, um, these are the spaces where we have to do the work within and kind of release whatever we're harboring. So is it anger, bitterness, resentment, hate, regret, fear, guilt, all of that stuff? Those should be temporary feelings, but they shouldn't be things that we hold on to because they stop us later. And so this is pretty much you going into the hermit just so that you can backtrack through energies and let them go. And these could be things, like I said, from the inner child. But nonetheless, when you go to these places and spaces, the idea is to forgive, right? And when we forgive, we literally are saying, listen, that person, that thing, this experience, that is the best they could do at that time. It was the worst for me, but unfortunately, that is what they did at that time. And I need to leave all of that there so that I can go and grow, right? So I have to forgive that moment. I have to forgive that person. And forgiving means that you were just going to give them back what they gave you in that space and collect the part of you that has been left. That's all, right? I just thought of like Dog the bounty hunt. You're the bounty hunter. So above the hermit, we have the magician. So I think that this is beautiful. I think that you are going back to collect your bounty. You're going back to collect your gifts, your power, the parts of you that have been scattered in places where we have endured things that have taken our peace away somehow, right? And so the magician essentially has everything that he's collected. He's got his pentacle, the wand, the sword, the cup. Done the work as the hermit. I've got everything I need. Now I know what to do with this, right? Now let me get to work and create and manifest what is next. Now we also have the Ten of Cups here. So this is a card of love. It could talk about family. But it's really about unconditional love, right? And maybe unconditional love was not available to us as a child, right? And those are the wounds that we have had to carry, but those are also the wounds that you are about to rectify, right? But we have to accept what was, and we have to go with the flow of who we are in this day so that we can create anything that maybe was denied to us earlier in life. And so the Ace of Wands that is above, this block, this not being able to get to where you want to go, make the decisions you need to make for your own security, right? Not feeling like you're stable. And then spirit comes in with the Ace of Wands. That's the new passion. That's the new idea that pushes you into the magician energy. And it's in this space that we need to go with the flow. But we can't go with the flow if we have all this stuff inside of us. So that's the importance of the purge. That's why we heal. Because sometimes in life we have to surrender, release, and we need to be very light. We can't be heavy, right? Because we have to be willing to be flexible and just kind of go with what spirit is giving us so that we can get to the outcome that we most desire. Um, and so this is really a moment to get your peace back, to lighten the load, right? And to take a risk. So if you do have to if this is about communicating with family, if you did discover something about, a connection with a family member, nonetheless, our relationships with people are opportunities to learn. And in this moment, we are learning forgiveness. We're learning how to heal our inner child, doing the shadow work, right? That's that hermit energy. And you're going to be victorious. You have the Six of Wands. And so this is about you really being willing to fight, to battle, to endure, realizing the importance of overcoming this, right? You will only become your best self when you make it through the entire journey, right? And so imagine you're at the 6 here. This is your victory, right? And then there's a 78. But along the way, we always have these like obstacles, these things that are required of us. And so this is one of them. And this is something, this is big. The Hermit is a major. So this is a life. You have the Hermit, the Magician. Those are two majors. So one, you're learning how to deal with the shadow, and you're learning how to manifest. These are the two major lessons that you are learning in life. And once you accomplish them, your life will never be, look, or feel the same again because you have totally leveled up. And so currently, the hard work, the energy, the focus, the drive that you have for is about to be put into your own story, right? But in the end, you become the magician. You're inspired and you create the love, the foundation that you want in your own life. But you had to go back and collect what was owed first, right? And we did that by forgiving. You know, I forgive you. Now I'm going to take me back. Goodbye. Simple as that. Not really, but, you know, if it only were. All right, Forrest, thank you so much for stopping by. Take care.